What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, bringing you another 2015 NFL Fantasy Football video. We already did the top 5 quarterback musts. If you haven't checked that video out, do so right now. Today, obviously, you do the must, you got to do the top 5 busts. So as always, guys, we're looking for 50 likes on this video for the next one to be released, which will be quarterback sleepers. Fucking sleepers. Everyone needs to know they're juicy sleepers. Those guys that get in the mid rounds that ended up, helping you propel you to a fantasy football championship. So 50 likes for this, guys. As always, subscribe to the channel. We want 10,000 subs by the time Madden 16 comes out. We're growing like a motherfucker, so I know we can hit that. So keep that up. But without further ado, looking at our 2014 last year's bust, how did we do? We went 3 right, 2 wrong. At number 5, we had Eli Manning. That was a wrong pick. He finished 10th overall in scoring. At number 4, we had Tom Brady. That was another wrong pick. He finished 9th overall in scoring. But the top 3, we did real well. At number 3, we had Alex Smith, which was a correct pick. He finished 20th in total scoring. At number 2, we had Colin Kaepernick, which was another correct pick. He finished 17th in scoring. And at number 1, we had Cam Newton, which was another correct pick. He finished 18th in scoring. So, 3 for 2, or 3 for 5. 3 for 2. 3 for 5, that is pretty darn good, I think. Batting over 500 people. And if you're a Carolina Panther fan, you pretty much don't even have to go 500 to make the fucking playoffs. So, that's pretty good. Pretty fucking good. Without further ado, jumping to the top 5 2015 fantasy football busts. At number 5, a recurring theme. We're going with Cam Newton. I still think they just don't have the offensive line for him to produce. I'm not saying these are going to be the bottom 5 quarterbacks too, by the way. They're just the top 5 general busts. Don't be like, Cam Newton's not going to finish bottom 5 fantasy scoring before you guys fucking trolls start saying that. But at number 5, we are sticking with Cam Newton. I'm projecting he'll get 3,200 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 500 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Just doesn't have the offensive line there still. You get the weapons. You have Kelvin Benjamin, who I think, even though I drafted him last year, might use him as a keeper in my league. I think he'll have a down year. Devin Funchess is a raw prospect. Still, the only really true proven receiving threat is Greg Olsen. Obviously, Kelvin Benjamin had some good stats last year, but a lot of times it's pretty much well known that we're done in garbage time. And he just doesn't have the offensive line to be able to run the ball a lot. Luckily, it looks like Jonathan Stewart is, having a nice little resurgence to his career. That will help out. But, there's just not fucking... What are you guys doing? Get an offensive line. If you're a Panther fan, I don't know why you don't, improve your offensive line and get some complimentary receivers to Kelvin Benjamin. You get Devin Funchess, who's exactly the same type of player. Big-bodied freak, tight end, pretty much hybrid wide receiver. I don't know why they haven't gone out and got an elite, good complement. Get a nice guy that's a good, solid route runner. Not a lot of route runners there. If Craig Olsen is the best route runner on the fucking Carolina Panthers, that's saying something. So I think Cam Newton at number 5. Number 4, Peyton Manning. What? This guy's lost his fucking rocker. I will say Peyton Manning's only here because he won't be top 5. So I had to kill him on the bus because I don't think he's going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback, which he's a perennial. I can't remember the last time he hasn't finished in the top 5. I just think, they're going to... Gary Kubiak's there now. They're just going to fucking... It's going to be the run. They're going to run the ball way too much for him to have a top 5 fantasy passing season. Still think he's going to finish with 4,200 yards, 34 touchdowns. I think he'll probably be in the 7 to 8. I'll say be 7 or 8 finest, or it'll be finished around there. So that's not bad, 7 to 8. But for Peyton Manning, the last couple of years, he's been easily, without a doubt, a top 3 quarterback to be taken off the board. I think he'll finish outside the top 5 this year, just because there's Demaryius Thomas. There's some contract issues there. He doesn't have Julius Thomas anymore, and I think there's a bigger emphasis on the run game plus a weaker offensive line. There's just a lot of uncertainties there for me to say Peyton Manning will be a top 5 quarterback. So he is number 4 on my bust, simply because I don't think he will be a top 5 quarterback, and a lot of people will overdraft him. And that's another thing you guys got to take into consideration when I'm saying about these busts. A lot of them are overdraft potential. Guys that they're going to think they should do well, they're going to suck. So you're going to draft them way too fucking high. Number 3, we're going with Joe Flacco. Obviously not a huge, big-time quarterback, but has been, top 15 the last couple years, losing his number 1 receiving threat in Torrey Smith in free agency, who's now with the San Francisco 49ers. I think Joe Flacco's just going to have an average season, 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns. I don't know. Personally, I have Justin Forsett in the same kind of boat. I really don't see where the offensive production is going to come here for the Ravens. Maybe if Dennis Pitta and Max Williams can form a nice 2 tight end set. Brashad Perriman, who's a fucking project. Steve Smith, he was phenomenal for the first 8 weeks last year, and then went to, he's like, oh my god, I'm 40. So, I mean, don't really know who's going to catch the balls there. Marlon Brown's not really proven. I just don't see a whole lot of offense going on in Baltimore this coming year, but they have the defense that they can always rely on. Number 2, we're going with RG3. You know, they already came out and said that he was going to be the starting quarterback back in preseason. You may be thinking, oh my God, a running quarterback, how juicy is that going to be? I just don't think they have the weapons there in Washington. They need the offensive line. They got Brendan Scherf in the draft. I still don't think that's enough on the offensive line. I still think they still have a lot of holes there outside of Scherf and Trent Williams. So that means you're going to struggle to get RG3 production. RG3 will have a nice return, 2,700 yards, 21 passing touchdowns, 450 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. But I mean, I think a lot of people are going to see healthy RG3, you know, in parentheses. He's going to be the starter there. He's bound to have his rookie, you know, a repeat of his rookie year. I don't think he's going to. So that's why I have him at number 2. And at number 1, San Francisco 49ers, everything about them, I wouldn't be surprised. If you're not a fan, I'm not trying to directly hate on you. I just think the Niners are going to... This is such a fucking terrible offseason for them by no fault of their own. Just guys saying, oh, I got a fucking concussion and all this shit. I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco is bottom 5 in this league. That's an incredibly tough division. They're now the weakest, so there could be potentially 6 losses. They're just... Well, not 6 losses... give per se, but those are 6 incredibly tough matchups now where they're, you know, the weaker team on paper going in. I just don't think everyone's coming and trying to say, oh my God, Colin Kaepernick looks like a complete different passer. Nope. Colin Kaepernick's going to finish with 3,100 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 550 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Doesn't want to use Vernon Davis, as you can see last year. Vernon Davis did absolutely nothing. Anquan Bolden's getting up there in age. Offensive line is looking pretty fucking weak. You got Torrey Smith, who's I'm kind of interested to see that. Torrey Smith, deep threat. Colin Kaepernick has terrible accuracy. Don't care if all you people with their quarterback rating. Colin Kaepernick struggles to complete medium passes. So, but like I was just saying, Torrey Smith with the deep ball with Colin Kaepernick, one of the biggest arms in the NFL. That could be a little interesting. But yeah, Crabtree's gone. That dream's gone. That experiment's fucking done. I just think Colin Kaepernick's going to be overdrafted again because you're going to be thinking about those additional rushing points. It's just not going to be there, guys. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 Fantasy 15. Call them Fantasy 15. That makes sense. Fantasy 15 busts at the quarterback position. As always, guys, 50 likes and new video will be uploaded soonish, probably in the next couple days. So let's try to get 50 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.